guys. On your mark, get set. Alright folks, pitching case 88, we are back. Let's head on to the next case. Ace, I still can't wrap my head around it. We've mastered not one but two demons in quick succession. Darkwood claims to be on the good side, and I guess he is since he saved us all from Zeke by banishing him. Only another demon could do that, and he risked it all for us. But Zeke still managed to take the core of the magic tree to the netherworld with no idea what for. Yeah, Darkwood wouldn't tell us the other demons can read our thoughts, Ace, so we are not safe for him to confide in it until we figure out how to shield our minds. That's when we need to seek out the witches of the Midwest. Only they can tell us how to protect our minds. But until then, I cannot stress this enough. We must have no contact with Darkwood. Saving our lives must have attracted the attention of Darkwood's enemies. We must lay low for now. We could all be in great danger. Copy that, Chief. So we need to plan our next move. I don't know about you, Ace, but I need to stretch my legs. Let's still go take a walk and breathe fresh air from the Minnesota suburbs. So witches are in Minnesota. Always knew it. Honestly, I would have think that the witches would not be in Minnesota where it's so cold. But, well, that does not look good. Oh man, Ace, that man's been killed. He has a wicked injury, that's probably the cause of death, but also tire tracks on his legs. Ben will figure it all out. You, yes you, what are you doing? Man, please step back, this is a crime scene. I will not step back, I'm gonna call the police. My name isn't Miss Florence Broker. That's my neighbor, Dan Kelly, and I think you killed him. Whoa, wait a minute, we're private detectives, we're investigating this murder. We need to speak with you, so please wait over there. Oh great, Ace, the last thing we need to do is meddle in neighbor Miss Brucker. I think we can handle her with the private detective cover. If it means, I wonder if this fake magazine can get us a lead. I'll grab your dusting kit. Sooner do we leave the RV than so on another dead body. Looks like witchy mind protection will have to wait. We will need to solve this murder. I'll say that I think she's a witch. So, time you came back to talk to me, I had a good mind to report you. Miss Brooker, can you tell us if I saw anything strange around this morning? Well, just you snooping around my neighborhood. I'm the head of the neighborhood association, the neighborhood watch, so I know everything that goes on around here, and everyone who should and shouldn't be here. You guys aren't from around these parts, and you know you show up your big stinky RVs, and then my neighbor's dead. Coincidence? I think not. You did it. Wait, no, he didn't. And as we said, we're private detectives, and we can find the killer, but you have to give us a little time. Well, I'll give you some time, but not much. After that, I'm going to call the cops. Oh, man, Ace, I knew she was going to be trouble. Too many scrapes with nosy neighbors when I was a kid. Better crack this case quickly, or she'll constantly be underfoot. Yep, and I gotta grab some stars since you guys all back as if you get 80. Alright, folks, we're back. Sorry I didn't select the right one to do even more stars, but we'll get enough to finish off chapter 1. Man, Parker's just like all the small towns where my foster families live, and I can't be in any of those places. Anyway, that copy of Suburbtopia magazine was sent to this address for the attention of one Alice Kelly. Alright, Kelly, this Alice has the same last name and address as the victim. She's probably his wife. We should go speak with Alice Kelly and break the bad news. I had assumed we probably weren't going to get the clue to get us to the second crime scene, or the second scene. Alice Kelly, we have some bad news. It appears that Dan, my husband, yes, was attacked by someone in your front yard, Miss Kelly. He was murdered. Murdered? How could this have happened? I never saw a thing. Been in the kitchen all morning. In fact, would you like some cookies or fresh lemonade? Wait, lemonade? Miss Kelly, When you find the person who killed your husband, snacks can wait. Of course, I just didn't want to be rude. Anyway, if you change your mind, the cookies are quite delicious. Sure they are. Can you tell us if there was anyone Mr. Kelly was supposed to meet or anywhere you're supposed to be today? Main Street. He said he would help with outreach for the church sometimes when he wasn't adjusting claims for CYA insurance. Thanks for your help, Mrs. Kelly. We'll be in touch as the investigation goes on. Yeah, she was nuts. Psychoanalysis will have to wait when you get to Main Street. Agreed. Yeah. Your husband just dies, you're usually not that, like, blasé about it. Well, that's obviously a clue. Terminal box is obviously a clue. Yeah, Miss Kelly said her husband was here last week on knees. I believe he has the initials DK on it, that matches Dan Kelly. We should take a sample of that blood and see what else we can learn. Good call, Ace. The box of clothing donation could be part of the church outreach the victim did. Let's see if there's a clue in there. Let's find out what secrets hide behind the perfect facade of Parkford. Never always, or it's never as simple as it seems. A hacker. I totally see it. Yeah, sample that blood from the victim's handkerchief base. Let's get into Priya. Definitely seems like there's something off there for sure. Ace, you got a framed photo in that donation box. That's the victim, Dan Kelly, but who's the guy standing next to him? Let's go run this mystery man through the recognition software and see who's BFF of the victim in this photo. All gonna be the neighbors. Just you watch. Huh? The local priest. We're in a database. Our unknown man is Dan Jensen. He's a pastor in this town's church. He doesn't really look much like a pastor in this photo, but I guess he can't be expected to dress in full regalia all the time. Says this Dan Jensen about the victim. Maybe he can shed some light. Hey there, Ace. Town seems so normal, especially after frolicking in the forest with werewolves. Frolicking, Priya? Are you referring to the time spent with any werewolf in particular? Well, alright. I admit I was fond of Sanders' company. He was really kind to me, and I hope that I managed to get back in his good books. Anyway, back to business. The sample you mostly contained the victim's blood. Why would it be so far from the crime scene? Well, only logical answer is that the killer took the handkerchief to wipe their hands after disposing of incriminating evidence. But in doing so, the killer also left behind certain salts and oils that are used in making tuna casserole. That old suburban standby. Do people actually still eat that? Heck yeah. Love tuna casserole. Nothing strange in this town. Nope. I do. We don't really have tuna casserole that often, but when we do have it, it's delicious. Hey, this body's definitely not what I was expecting to see on a calm day in any town in USA. This man was indeed murdered. As just realized, the head wound was caused death. Someone beamed him good with a shovel. Interesting. Any particular kind of shovel? Something to look out for? Just an everyday garden variety shovel you can find in any garage in the cul-de-sac. Great, that leaves this case wide open. Oh, well, Luke, even after so many months was less, you ought to know by now that no investigation is ever open and shut. But I did find something else that could help. You saw the tire tracks across the victim's legs. According to the bruising on the body, the killer drove in a station wagon just after the murder. Huh. Must have been in a hurry to leave the scene. How can you tell the killer drove a station wagon, Ben? Well, these tires are specific to a particular Swedish brand, vintage model at that. If you can call it 80s vintage, don't you dare. Alright, no comment. Other than that, to say the killer may think they're safe in that station wagon, but they aren't safe for me. Luke wasn't even born in the 80s. Pastor Stan Jensen, I'm afraid we have some bad news. One of your flock, Dan Kelly, was murdered this morning. Reused background. What? Murdered? That explains why I never showed up to outreach. I should have known something was wrong. Dan was very involved, very generous. You even gave us his old pickup truck for hauling donations, food for the soup kitchen, and all of that stuff. Yeah, we found a photo of you in the donations box. Must have been very important to you. It was important to the whole town. We were going to hang that photo up in the church to thank him. But now I suppose we hang it up in his memory. How terrible. Why on earth would anyone want to kill Dan Kelly? Well, at least we came to this white bread value. We talked about all this stuff. Do you hear that kerfuffle, Ace? What's going on over there at the cafe? What are those people doing to Gwen? Oh, brother. See you guys in chapter 2. After I grab some more stars, by Pachini's Idiot. Or what? Alright, folks, Pachini's Idiot, we are back. Let's try and save Gwen from whatever shouting match is happening. She's a witch. She's a witch. Wait, no, I'm not. I just want a cup of coffee. You're out from around here. We've never seen you. You look weird. Hey, clear out of here. You're creating a public disturbance. Well, she's the public disturbance, Heather, and you don't exactly fit into Parkford either. Well, why don't we let the cops decide if it's in around here? That's what I thought. Now get out of here. Wow, that was intense. All these people needed were torches and pitchforks. I think I'll just go back to the RV and hide out there. It's probably safer that way. Thanks for helping us out there. What's your name? I'm Heather Knight. I work here in this cafe. Sorry about those people. They don't like anyone who doesn't conform. They're all like that Dan Kelly guy. Hey, you knew him? Did he come to the cafe a lot? Every Sunday after church, and sometimes on the weekdays. In that case, would you mind if we took a look around? You want to snoop and sleuth in the cafe for stuff out of Dan Kelly? Be my guest. Oh, creepy. It's got a little satchel with victim's name stamped on it, and if you can get it open, we could have another lead. If you want to look for that trade dirty dish, it's all yours. I guess there might be some useful information in there. Yeah, it could be. Nice. What's that key fob doing on those dirty dishes, Ace? That's a weird place for it. And there's blood on that key fob. Let's get this thing to Bria right away. Weird to think the flower would be his. We got the victim satchel open, Ace. What is that card? Looks like someone who wrote on this card, but it's faded. Look at your destined kit. So Ace's little key fob might not seem like much, but your instincts to dig into their dishes at that cafe were correct. The one the key fob was the victim. Dakota must have tried to discard in the cafe after the murder. What else does this little thing tell us? This key fob is a gift with a subscription to Suburbtopia magazine. Ah. Was splashed with Dan Kelly's blood as he was being murdered, and then ends up hidden in some dishes at a cafe. It means the killer has a subscription to Suburbtopia magazine. The killer must have a deep passion for the burbs if they subscribe to Suburbtopia. We already know one of the suspects has Suburbtopia subscription, Alice Kelly. We need to make a note of that. Speaking of Alice Kelly, we should probably go back to their house and the scene of the crime and have another look around. Agree? I'll bet you there's others. Honestly, the codex isn't the worst. It doesn't take as much time. Actually, the moving things around for something underneath, that's more annoying than anything. Let's do a security camera. Ace maybe recorded the murder. Unlock it. What's all this broken glass? Maybe you can piece it back together while I'm in the lead. Better act fast. We don't need more trouble with the fine people of Parkford. Yep. It's now 5 o'clock in the morning here. What was it? Uh-oh. Yep. Right in the car says, repent, Heather, wicked as Satanism. Yikes. Heather, isn't it the waitress who helped because those people away from Glenn? She said that Dan Kelly didn't like Dr. Form. It seems like that she fit that category for him. Let's go ask Heather more about the victim, see what else he might have said to her. I still think that with the shovel, you'd have to be incredibly strong in order to wield that thing as a weapon. Got the camera unlocked, I guess it's good to hope and see if she can get access any footage from it. I agree. Ooh, disqualified. So it appears that Dan Kelly won the Best Lawn Award from the Neighborhood Association. Then someone wrote disqualified over it. Man, who knew people could get so worked up over a patch of grass? But hey, you're right. Florence Brucker is the head of the Neighborhood Association. Maybe she knows something about this. Ms. Brucker, would you have to know anything about the Best Lawn Award given to Dan Kelly? Of course I do. He was disqualified for the award because he left his Christmas decorations up for too long. They're very simply stated in his neighborhood code based on best practices from Suburbtopia that all Christmas decorations must be down by January 7th. He was a day late. When I disqualified him, he smashed the award on the ground right next to my station wagon. I had a feeling Dan Kelly wasn't good enough for this neighborhood associated with that Moose Nyland. That thug lives in a trailer park. Wait, Dan Kelly was associated with thugs? Yeah, they had a big fight in front of the whole neighborhood. And you are a bunch of no good either. Ask Kelly's questions, I'm calling the cops. Great. Agent Matheson, can you help us out here? Yeah, this Moose guy is a new element. If he and the victim fought, we need to speak with him and fast. Moose and I have a few questions about Dan Kelly. Dan Kelly, the claims jester, or should I say crook? Crook, huh? Those are some strong words against a murdered man's character. He was murdered? Well, maybe I'll have better luck with one of his co-workers then. See, my vintage station wagon was totaled, and it was just parked on the street. That wagon means the world to me. When my dad passed, he bequeathed it to me, so I'll always remember our camping trips. And now I use it to rescue abandoned animals and take them to the shelter. You know what Dan said? It was worth $350, and you find 5 times that to get it running again. Let me guess, Dan didn't care about the memories with your dad or your animal rescues. Nope, he even yelled at my little bitty kitty. So frankly, I'm not surprised someone took him out, but it wasn't me. I would not mess with this guy. Yep, I'm exhausted. Hope you guys are having more trouble finding people at Parkford. Oh, not us, but since Dan Kelly was hounding you. Oh yeah, I told you. I mostly just served him lunch. And he served you strange messages about repenting. He just wanted to save me from being a wicked. He said it was going straight to hell if I didn't stop. Last time I checked, freedom of religion was still in the U.S. Constitution. It's usually where our conversation ended. He never had a smart answer to that. Yeah, well, he won't bother you anymore. Someone murdered him this morning. Wait, what? Seriously? Keep saying that this town is too normal, and then... Right, it does seem too normal. And then some man is killed on his own front lawn. Well, I swear, even though he has me all the time, I had nothing to do with his murder. Let's hope you're telling the truth. Hello, Earth to Hope. Oh, hey, Ace. Hey, yourself, you seem skittish. What's up? Oh, nothing. I was just distracted. Let's get down to business. Sorry to say there wasn't any footage of Dan Kelly's murder, but it appears the camera was his, and he used on it to spy on his wife. Take a look. 5 minutes and 36 seconds late, Alice. This is unacceptable. If there was a traffic jam, you know that's the only reason I'd ever be late. With these cameras, I know all. I see all. You better not slip up again, or else. It wasn't my fault. Enough. Not another word. Psycho. Yeah, this Dan Kelly might have been a friend of the town, but he wasn't very kind to his wife. Yeah, it doesn't seem like he didn't trust her at all. I mean, a security camera? Yeah, we could better go ask Mrs. Kelly about the life with her husband living under that type of pressure. She may have a motive. Well, that definitely explains why she wasn't like upset about his death. I mean, that all makes sense. Hello, Miss Kelly. We have a question about your husband. Yes, of course. I'll endeavor to answer them the best I can. You have a security camera installed here, and apparently it was more to watch you than anything else. Well, yes. You see, I would take the station wagon running errands for the house from 2 to 4 p.m. Use the camera to ensure that I had returned safely. I'm not sure that he was all that concerned about your safety. Besides, it would be impossible to always be on time. I was only late once, but it made Dan very angry, so I made sure it would never happen again. Now, would you like some of my favorite tuna casserole? I adapted it from Florence Broker's recipe. The pasta likes it so much, it's going into the church cookbook. No thank you, but we should keep investigating. I'll put everybody to have that. Well, I don't know what to think about this investigation. Of course, everybody had a motive. Great, now you've called the cops on us. We'll see you guys in Chapter 3. As you can see, we'll be able to go through Chapter 3 in the AI once we figure out why the cops are called on us. Now, what seems to be the trouble here? These hooligans, Officer Doyle, they claim to be private detectives, basically the murder of my neighbor Dan Kelly, but I think they did it. Alright, well, folks, it looks like I'm going to need some sort of identification. Or you could speak to our boss in the FBI. He can tell you that we have all the clearance we need. FBI? The feds? Well, I don't want to interfere with the federal investigation. Sorry, Ms. Brucker, but this is above my pay grade. You folks have a fruitful investigation. Knew it. We'll be sure to share information with local law enforcement as soon as we can. Why didn't you say you were on here on behalf of the FBI? It feels so silly now. Never mind that, Ms. Brucker. Just keep helping us with the investigation as needed. Glad that's over. We need a group of friends all this murder is. Let's go to that cafe and have another look around. Ellen's a little psycho. There we go, perfect. Now we can get on the AI. Got an abandoned phone, always worth unlocking for a clue. And what's Moose Island doing up on this flyer? For some reason the victim's name's on it too. Now this looks odd. You found a photo covered in weird black chunks or something. Please grab a sample of that stuff from the photo A's. This is all quite peculiar. Yeah, Matheson's really been a help. Once we showed him that Ghost for real, he's all of a sudden been on our side. Shocker. There we go. That's the victim's phone, Ace. Let's get this one out as quickly as possible. She can dig through and find the lead. Yeah, George, I agree. George Matheson might be one of my favorites moving forward. We'll have to see. Man, he's that flower with Moose Million Islands, but I've heard that to be a warning about him. It's a dangerous driver I've seen. Contact Dan Kelly, CYA. Cover your booty insurance. So the victim was trying to ruin Moose Island's reputation. Moose saw this. Maybe he left his kid at home and went to finish his fight with Dan Kelly. Let's get Moose's side of the story, Ace. First I thought these were like berries of some sort, but now it looks like soot. Uh-oh, somebody spying? You don't even talk about the photo, you're just not going to talk about the stuff underneath it? Alright. Okay, so these are all, so I gotta figure out color. Ooh, black wax. Interesting. Weird, you also found traces of chicken feathers and sage. Yo, I couldn't help it over here, but you said black wax, sage, and chicken feathers together? That sounds like a Wiccan spell candle. You're right, Ace. We did find the photo on the wax in the cafe. We know Wiccan is a waitress there, Heather Knight. Let's go ask her about the meaning of this candle wax in the photo of the victim's house. Oh, dears. Oh, dears. Thanks for dropping by, Ricky. Got about 20 minutes left of this case, so. Listen, we found proof that a Wiccan spell is being used against the victim. We found proof here at the cafe. What gives? Oh, I used a Wiccan spell, alright, but not against Dan. He asked me for a spell to protect his house. He said if I didn't comply, he'd tell the whole town I was a witch. You saw what they were ready to do to your friend. At best, I'd be run out of town. All these people here, they act so perfect. I've been trying reading Suburbtopia to understand them. They all have dark secrets. Him above all. I can just sense it. Did you just decide to get rid of your Dan Kelly problem in a more direct way? Well, of course not. I swear I didn't kill him. Oh, cheers. Mr. Allen, are you aware that Dan Kelly printed flyers about your driving practices? Yeah, that jerk. He was trying to ruin my reputation in this town. He told me I told my station wagon on purpose for insurance money that everyone would believe his story, not mine. He said I'd go to jail. So did you chat with him again? Did things get out of hand? Oh no, come on. I have a mission in life. So many animals are abandoned and in need of rescue. The rescue center here needs a proper veterinarian. I'm almost about to complete my degree. Why would I throw that away by committing murder? People have thrown away a lot less, man. A lot less. So don't be thinking you're completely innocent here. Or that we're going to think that. So hopefully something you guys are pretty good. I'll look at Tim's phone. Just a second. Oh, great. We need to wrap up this investigation. Yeah, right. Sorry. Yes. Most of the stuff in the victim's phone was pretty standard or boring. But the most recent text message exchange with Pastor Stan Jensen were pretty intense. Pastor's last message to him was, "How dare you bring shame on this congregation, Dan?" Oh, great. The man of God felt he needed to protect his flock. Could be a motive. We better ask Pastor Stan ourselves. Uh-oh. Was Pastor Dan and his wife seeing each other? How's the investigation going? I do hope you find Dan Kelly's killer soon. Got a new lead, though, and it's you. What did Dan Kelly do to bring shame on your congregation, Pastor? Oh, it was not his brightest hour, to be sure. A female pastor was invited to speak at the church. In fact, I invited her myself because she writes my favorite column, Suburbtopia. Turns out, Dan didn't approve of female pastors. He interrupted her sermon and made a scene in front of the whole congregation. Who knows what she'll tell church leaders? It was a shame of my life, I'll tell you. Honestly, I was thinking of kicking him out of the church entirely, giving him back the truck he had donated, and going back to using my old station wagon for collecting donations. Did any other thoughts cross your mind, like physically attacking Mr. Kelly? Oh, no, never. I'm a pacifist, and most of it suggests that he finds a less progressive church. Let's go back to the murder scene. Not the murder scene, the truck. Got my brick of plastic with blood on it. That's not worth donating, so I'm pretty sure it's a clue. If you think digging that trash bag could tell us something, then the pleasure's all yours. You're right, we're getting very, very close to this. Let's try to put this all together. It's like a lot of, oh, this is the tire wheel that ran over him. Broken plastic was the Hepcat base, and there's a fair amount of blood in it. Let's get it to Priya. Oh. Ooh. It's a murder weapon. Looks like another job for Priya. Well, this broken shovel is definitely the murder weapon. The blood on it matches the victims. Tell us you found something else on that shovel too. We still haven't narrowed down the suspect well enough. Never fear this shovel. Moved by someone with naturally red hair. The red-headed killer. I think it's Moose. I honestly do. However, it could easily be the priest too. Situation. Yep. Encourage bandit. It's hypocat. That would be good from the killer's suit. That makes sense. Some just belong to the killer's car, and the killer probably needs to check their mannequin because in addition to splattering fair amount of magenta nail polish on the hubcap. So we're looking for a killer that wears eye-catching nail polish, and we'll catch them before their next coat polish dries. It's his wife? What? How did she have the strength to wield the... Oh my goodness. Oh wow. I did not see that coming. How in the world did she do that? Unless she is maybe she's a witch. Miss Kelly, find your husband's killer, and it's you. Me, but I told you I was baking cookies. Maybe you were after the murder, but you broke Dan Kelly's skull with a shovel. Admit, Miss Kelly, you just couldn't take it anymore. The surveillance being under his constant control, and it was more than that, much more. I am not really Mrs. Alice Kelly. The real Alice Kelly is dead. Dan Kelly, he killed her. Whoa, wait a minute. Rewind. If you're not Alice Kelly, who are you? Oh my gosh. I am Dan Kelly's creation, a golem. He wanted a perfectly obedient wife, so he built me with the help of a witch. He threatened to kill me just like he killed the real Alice if I ever misbehaved. My gosh, he killed his wife and replaced her with you, a golem? But why? Dan cared so much about appearances, everything had to be done his way. No human wife could ever live up to his expectations, so here I am. He wasn't happy with you either, so you murdered him before he could murder you? Yes. If I did not, where would it end? He would continue to create and kill golem after golem, bend nature to his will and destroy it. Wait, but how did you discover all of this? One day I was cleaning the attic, I found a box. So many photos of us, me, but I do not remember any of these moments. I confronted him. Is that when he said what I was and the real Alice's ashes were part of the property now? He said that if I'd disobeyed him as she did, he would turn me into a brick too. This is terrible. Ace, what should we do? She's a supernatural being. We can't turn the cops. Ace, I've taken a life. I was a mindless machine before, but now I'm a danger that must be stopped. Please come with us. We'll get this all figured out. Wow. This is weird. We now have a golem on our hands, a creature that Dan Kelly created to replace the wife he murdered. This golem killed her creator to stop his mad addiction to control. The golem said that Dan Kelly placed the ashes of his wife on the property and threatened to reduce his creature to a brick if she did not disobey him. We need proof that this is what the golem is saying is true. We must find the remains of the real Alice Kelly. Interesting. Well, we can go on straight to the additional investigation. Alright guys, we are on the AI. I noticed the front yard of the Kelly's house has a rock terracing structure, but also some of the rocks aren't natural. They're manufactured like bricks. If it helps her find the remains of Alice Kelly, I'm up for a closer look at these rocks, Ace. I'll meet you at Kelly's front yard. What about the golem, Ace? We still haven't figured out what to do with her. Just my 2 cents. We know that Dan Kelly asked for a witch's help to make the golem. Only that witch can help you deactivate her. Ace, we've come to the Midwest to find witches for that mind protection spell. Now we need them for help with the golem. But so far, the closest we've gotten to a witch here is that Wiccan waitress, Heather Knight. She may cast spells, but I doubt she's able to make a golem. And you're right, Ace. Maybe we should go talk to Miss Knight and see if she knows anything about the witch that made this golem. Unless you want to go to Dan Kelly's house first. Yes, that is who I thought it was. Oh, they're very attractive. Fireburn and Cauldron Bubble. Reminds me of the Disneyland ride. Haunted Mansion. Hey there, nice to see you guys again. Heard you solved the murder. That's pretty impressive. Well, yeah, it appears that Dan Kelly's wife killed him. Well, that's real right, by the golem person he made. Wait, a golem? I had no idea there was a golem here in Parkford. Well, we know that a witch helped Dan Kelly make the golem. We need to find her to deactivate the poor creature. As much as I'd love to belong to a coven, I don't know any witches here. That said, an old woman came in here once, and I was sure that she was a witch. She was whispering to a ball of clay. She wore this strange amulet made of bones. I made a little sketch of it on a piece of paper, but I lost it. I hope it didn't get thrown out. We don't mind just having another look around. Maybe we can find the sketch. Sounds like a long shot, but have a look around the cafe. Sorry I can't give you any more information. Interesting. Then let's get Ace. That has to be how they're drawing the amulet. Let's get that back to the base chick and try to get to her work. So find something that leads us to the witch who made the goal. I mean, obviously, it's her. Just sometimes this image is slightly different than the people that we come up across. Ah, Agnes Lakes, you're right. This is what I need to say. Aces wish you kind of don't look at the others. They appear to be a locked box of some kind. This box holds the remains of the real Alice Kelly. Only one way to find out, and you have to open it, Ace. Well, we found a match, but I think we'll only feel to determine which witch wears this amulet. Oh, I think we know. I think we know. The two other ones may be people that get introduced within this district. Anyways, so good for Nutri. We've seen the amulet from the sketch before. Remember the witch who told us those college kids how to summon a demon back in Texas? Agnes Lee? Of course. Why don't we immediately think of her? A lot has happened since we were in the Southwest. Don't beat yourself up, Holmes. We already knew she helped summon a demon, and she helped Dan Kelly build a golem. She's a real troublemaker. We had their son in the cafe. She can't be far. Let's track down Agnes Lee and get to the bottom of this. Looks prettier there, you know, as an old lady is in the other one. DJ. Agnes Lee, we need your help. Do you know how to build a golem? Well, you already know the answer to that, Ace. Make golems a little trick I picked up in Prague. I did make one for Dan Kelly, but it seems she turned on him. I did warn him, but he insisted, and he paid me handsomely for my skills. We put someone in almost certain danger for a payout. That's pragmatic. But she's got to eat too. But I suppose now that she's in known danger, you want help. No problem. Once golems go rogue, rules are that they must be deactivated for everyone's safeties. And to do so, you must remove her hair and look at her forehead for a Hebrew word, emet, which means the truth. You must remove the first letter, aleph. Remember, the Hebrew reads from right to left. The first of the three letters, the furthest to the right. Removing this letter will change the word from truth to death, and her energy will return to the void. And Ace, take this with you for protection. If you don't need it for the golem, you might need it in the not too distant future. Yeah, that art is pretty good. Other two witches, I definitely want to get to know them. Because one of them, I don't think is Heather, so it's got to be another one. At the box open, Ace, those appear to be ashes and a few bones. Possible human remains? We're not equipped to analyze them. Maybe we can send these remains to Mathis. He tells us before, and an FBI lab can identify them for sure. That doesn't look like Heather. Ace, how's tricks? Still chasing ghosts and werewolves? Yeah, but in our travels we appeared to stumble upon an old-fashioned murder. Any luck with those remains? The remains you sent me did in fact belong to a certain Alice Kelly. And it looks at his census and hospital records, the whole 9 yards. The Kellys also have a son, Kevin. He should be about 7. Wait, Ace, you and Luke never mentioned seeing a kid or anything having to do one during the investigation. Yeah, that's what I figured. The kid must be missing. Wait, there's no missing persons report. Please don't tell me Dan Kelly killed him too. No. The remains you sent me only contain DNA from Alice Kelly. For now, we have no evidence saying that the kid died. We also have no idea where the kid could be. Yeah, Ace, isn't a nosy neighbor of Dan Kelly's called the cops on you and Luke? He said she claimed to know everything about the neighborhood. Good idea. We should ask Florence Brooker what she knows about the Kelly's mysterious missing son. Uh-oh. Miss Brooker, we're still having the FBI with an ongoing investigation. We need to know anything you can tell us about Kevin Kelly. Kevin, the Kelly's son? Oh my, yes. He was just such a sweet kid, but he suddenly disappeared one day, just poof, gone. When I asked Dan and Alice about him, they said he went away to live with some distant relatives. Now, not to speak ill of the dead, but I didn't believe that distant relatives nonsense for a second. If I was ever any relatives visit, not even for Thanksgiving or Christmas, and believe me, I would know. There's nothing out of the ordinary in the neighborhood leading up to his disappearance. Not at all. I'm sorry I don't have more intel for you. That's fine. Any information can be helpful at this point. You have a nice day, ma'am. Thank you again for your assistance. So they definitely had a son who vanished, and no one knows where. Here's hoping Mathis can find something. Yeah, I don't know about you, but I'm beat. Maybe a snack would help. Probably would. Alright, Ace. Give me a sit rep. Is everything wrapped up? Can we get back to protecting our minds from demons? Not really sure. In our search for the remains of Alice Cole, we discovered that the couple had a son, Kevin. He went missing, and a missing report was never filed. We've got Mathis on it, though. Good. How about the golem? Have you determined what you're going to do with her? Well, Agnes has told us that once a golem goes rogue, we must deactivate them for everyone's safety. She gives us the instructions, and we're just about to see the golem and restore energy to the void. Well, rules are rules. We better follow them, Ace. Pick a partner. Ace, would you mind taking care of that with Luke? I had terrible nightmares last night. I barely slept. I need some rest. Fair enough. Ace, go with Luke to speak with the golem, and be careful. She doesn't have long nails here, but you're right. Ace, you here to release me? Yes, I'm sorry we have to do this. But it is what must happen, and I submit. I wish it. First, I need to remove your hair. There's the Hebrew word Ace. I can said you erase the letter furthest to the right. I hope I'm doing this right. Alright, that should be it. Thank you, Ace. Please take this payment for my freedom. That was actually really easy. I can't believe it, Ace. We did. The golem was returned to a natural state of dried clay, and she has been released. But now what should we do? You're right. We still need help from a witch to protect our minds from the demons who are after us. Let's go see Agnes sleep. Florence could easily still be a witch. So Ace, I sent you a little session with the golem a while back to thank me? Of course, thank you, Agnes. We still need your help. We need mind protection from demons. Oh, great. Got yourself involved with demons, huh? I would have thought at least Jacob Arrow would know better. Mind protection spell is very complex. Only worthy minds can withstand it. You must prove your capacity with by going on a quest. Remember these words. Strong winds blow you to the land where hearts fall to become crimson blooms below. What the heck does that mean? The quest is for you to take, not I. Good luck. But how will we know if we're on the right path? There is a magic golden compass. It will show you the right way. The symbols will glow and the arms will point you in the right direction. Only once you solve a portion of the enigma may you continue on to the next part. Trouble is, I seem to have lost the darn thing on Main Street. You'll have to go look for it yourself, suckers. Agnes is ruthless. Ace, didn't I say the compass was gold? Chunks of gold could be precisely what we need. Let's piece them back together. Yes, sir. Let's take this on. Of course, this is going to take us to the next stop, of course. Oh, I like that. Well, if that's not a magical golden compass you just pieced together, I don't know what is. Let's get this compass to the base and report to the chief. You report Ace, the golden taken care of? Yes, she thanked us and paid us. We have more good news. Agnes left us with a golden compass that should help us with the mind protection spell. Hey Luke, she's a witch. Finding the spell can't be as easy as using a magical compass. Oh, you're right. She gives us an enigma. Strong winds blow you to the land where hearts fall to become crimson blooms below. Magical little compass will tell us when we've solved a portion of it by blowing. Then it will point us to the next part of the quest, or at least that's what Agnes Leak said. So the first part of the riddle mentions strong winds and one in the Midwest. You're right, Chicago's the Midwest and it's called the Windy City. Oh, the compass is blinking. Looks like your reasoning is correct, Ace. Chicago, here we come. Nice. Interesting. Alright guys, well I will see you guys next Saturday. Same time, same place. Bitches 8, over and out.